Welcome to the Old Stoneys podcast. I am one of your hosts, Justin McDonald, along with Matt Cristione, who is piped in. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, man. How you guys doing?
Good. Is the cat still in the room? Cat still hanging out?
I've got two cats in the room, but they should be okay.
They're not going to disturb you while you're trying to perform?
They may want some love, but other than that, they'll get by.
Oh, my goodness. So you're coming to us from home today, not because you have COVID or anything like that. You just...
Nope.
like,
Got a work schedule. I got a hit, and yep.
All right. Well, how's your week been since we last spoke?
So far, so good. It's been busy.
Excellent.
Had a little bit of snow and ice, and it was fun.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Last week we had Captain Cannabis on the podcast, and we chatted with him, and he told us about his new gummies and some of the things that he has going on, which is pretty cool. And I'm sure we'll hear from him again. But we wanted to thank him for coming on last week. Always a pleasure. Good times here in Portland. And this time around, we have another great guest in the studio since Matt decided not to come into the studio. Ram from Funk Extracts decided to come to the studios. How's it going, man?
Well, hey, man. How you doing, Justin?
I'm doing great, and thank you for the beanie.
Oh, my pleasure.
I'm wearing it. I'm not gonna.
Good.
I don't want to be like the guy who goes to the concert and wears the shirt to the band that's playing. I don't want to be that guy. But we welcome you to the studio.
Well, thanks for having me back, man. It's great to be back with you guys. And Matt, I'm glad you're doing all right.
Thank you very much, Ram. I appreciate it. Good seeing you, buddy.
Good to see you, man.
So we chatted last time. Funk is Funk Extracts. For people who don't know, by the way, we are on Talkcast PDX right now and other platforms all over the world, Spotify, YouTube. We're everywhere. So we just like to say we're everywhere. But the last time we chatted with you was months and months ago. And we talked about some of the new things coming down the pipe and all these other things. What has actually landed over the last 6 months, probably?
Whole lot of rosin. We've been doing finally getting rosin to the market. It's kind of was a long journey to get the project to decide, okay, we want to start doing rosin as well now. Obviously the market has spoken, and we just want to provide the people what they want. And but it took us like 9 months to get it rolling, and then like the last 6 months or so we've been really dialing it in and making some amazing product. I'm so thrilled with what the crew is doing, and just making some great stuff, man. Working with some great farms who are providing some fantastic material.
I've tried a few things here and there.
Nice.
Over the last few months. I have been I'm a picky guy.
Yeah.
I'm really fucking picky. And Matt knows this too. If I find something, I stick with it, hang with it. And I follow you on social media. Canacast 420 follows you on social media as well. And we're always seeing that new pop out there.
Oh, yeah.
Anything that stands out? Flavor wise?
I know it's not available anywhere anymore, but the Captain Cooch I did with Happy Daddy, damn, man, that was insane. And everybody, I talked to my buddies out in Ontario, out on the border of Idaho, and they were just like, dude, that was some of the best flavor profile on the rosin I've ever smoked. I think told me that a couple of days ago, and I was just so thrilled to hear it. My buddies at Happy Daddy, Ken and Evan, they just are real true craftsmen. And they used to make the Happy Daddy dab tools and stuff, and now they've got their own farm, and they take that same passion for quality and craftsmanship from actual making pieces of metal and stuff, to their farm, to where they're growing amazing stuff. I know they had a medical grow for a while, but now they're doing rec, and it's, man, they're wrecking it, man. It's awesome. It's
good old Ontario.
Yeah, Ontario's out there, man. We got some stuff out there rolling. Top Crop and Burnt River are our two main guys out there.
I know Burnt River.
Yeah, they're good crews, man.
What's my friend saying? I don't know. He goes, the Ontario, the weed capital of Idaho.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Dude, it's wild. I know I go over there when I've gone to do deliveries out there. I'm always like, I've never been to Boise or anything yet.
Right.
And when I get to Ontario and I drop off some stuff, I'm like, hey, man, you think it would be smart for me to go check out Boise? I do, not that I've dropped off all my product, of course, but, I still have maybe have a little personal stuff or something. You never know. And they were like, they're like, no, don't go. Don't do it. Don't risk it. And I was like, really? They're like, the cops are so bad. It reminds me of Texas. So
they're pretty hardcore.
That's what I've heard, man. I try to steer clear of the hardcore cops. As much as the city of Portland is in a weird place right now.
It's a
And
weird place.
it's pretty.
It's weirder
shit's
than
weird,
ever.
man. It
Anybody
really
that says
is.
that Portland isn't weird anymore,
No,
they're
it
wrong.
is. Yeah, I was coming up here for like 3 years doing deliveries. I was like, God, I want to move up here so bad.
Yeah,
and then I moved
right?
up here like in June of 2020, right when the protests and everything started happening, and it just seems like the city's really gone downhill. And
I agree with you,
oh,
because I
man.
moved here at the end of 2014, December of 2014, and I started working. I had a job here waiting, and I started working, and I was like, this is a great town.
It's so cool.
This is such a great town. And I'd walk everywhere. Everything was cool. And then I was working downtown when all the crap, started going down. And then next, I'm like, over the last 2 years, this town has just sucks.
Yeah, like the last 2 years, it really has. I mean, yeah, I was driving up here from Medford every week to do deliveries, and I would like drive through all the neighborhoods are so cool and unique, and the houses are so cool, and everybody's just like walking down the street and stuff. And I was like, damn, I got to get in the mix, man. And then I swear to God, as soon as I got out here, now the apartment I live in is cool, but like there's a dude living in the bushes outside. I saw him like masturbating the other day. And like I was like looking out my window, and I was like, hey, there's that guy. And then he like turned around and just had
a show.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, free show every night. And
that's Portland right there.
It is, man. And it's, it's such a cool city. And it is, definitely just needs some, proper management of the city. I think the police, I think that was what I was getting to, is like, it's so hardcore in Idaho and stuff, but in Portland, like, you don't even see the police. I mean, they're like, you can do whatever, in this town. And it's it's good if you're trying to get away with something, but it's bad if something happens to you and you really have no recourse.
I mean, I don't wish bad on cops or the city or anything like that, but over the last 2 years, I don't know how we got off to talking about Portland, but I don't care. Real quick, I was just gonna say, I mean, when I'm driving into the town and I look over to the sidewalk and a guy's taking a shit, welcome to Portland.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, it's just like, good Lord. I mean, we have these bathrooms and things like that, and use the bathrooms.
Well, we were starting to have that problem back in 2016, dude.
Yeah,
that's true. I will say it, and I don't want to rag on Portland too hard. I will say I've been seeing this everywhere. I went for my first vacation for 5 years to Honolulu. Had a cool little house, Airbnb, like the block off the main drag in Waikiki, and it was super cool. But there's a couple bum situations. I was like, one morning I was going to get me and my chick some Starbucks, and like I was coming back. I had like my headphones on and I was like jamming, like it's a beautiful morning. You know what I mean? Like just jamming, and like I go around the corner to the street that we're staying on, and there's this homeless lady like sitting on a cardboard bed or something, and she's on all fours with her butt out and no pants on. I was like, hey, there's that lady's ass. And then all of a sudden just poop just starts coming out of it. I was like, hey, there's poop.
I didn't put a quarter in there. What the hell?
I was like, fun.
I was like, I had like a flashback. I was like, am I in Portland or Hawaii? I was like, damn, I'm in Hawaii.
So it is bad everywhere. I mean, I was in Seattle not too long ago.
Seattle's rough too.
LA is really bad too.
Even in Houston, which is a city that's very conservative and doesn't usually allow bums to hang out too much. There tents everywhere in downtown Houston now too, which is, I just can't believe that they're allowing it. And I guess this is apparently a real problem.
I feel like there's like different various degrees of houselessness. You got the bums, people that just don't want to work, don't want to do anything,
do drugs all day
long. You got the mentally ill. That's probably a huge portion of it. And then you got those who just had bad luck. And that just happens. And it happens.
It does.
And so
it's tough out there.
With all the minds, this is the thing that gets me the most. All these guys with their fancy degrees and all their bullshit sitting around their tables, talking about, how solutions and things, they can't fix it.
No.
Nobody's smart enough to fucking fix it.
Yeah.
So, quit complaining about it.
Yeah.
Help out and until somebody can fix it, figure out how to fix it. I just think it's funny because the meeting of the minds in the county and blah blah blah. So I mean, this like
we also have a city council that just seems to look after their own freaking neighborhoods and not taking a look at the city as a whole. So we have a whole bunch of not in my backyard shit going on, and I think we just need to get the mayor to have a little bit more power. So there's one voice from the top that kind of decimating everything down to everything else. The city council, not a real big fan.
Yeah, me neither. I was at a little grocery market in Washington County the other day. I was going to buy a wrap. Every now and then I want to, something funky, with my weed, and I had
Yeah.
some weed that wasn't quite as my favorite, but I was like, maybe if I get a little like a strawberry wrap or something, twist it up, it'll taste pretty good. I'll flash back to my 20s, and then it'll be all good. I go in the store. There's no tobacco on the fucking shelves, unless it was just tobacco flavor.
Oh shit! Has that happened
All
already?
flavored tobacco was gone.
Oh my god!
I mean, if you chew tobacco, like let's say Copenhagen Wintergreen or a Kodiak or anything, gone.
Wow,
Gone.
that's crazy.
And I was talking to the guy, and he goes, "Yeah, all the flavored wraps are gone. Anything flavored tobacco is gone."
Is that just in Oregon, or is that
Just Washington County?
just Washington County?
Just
Okay.
Washington County, as far as I know. So their brilliant minds seem to think that the tobacco companies were making these flavors for children.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I
Adults like flavor too.
Adults like flavored tobacco a lot.
Yeah.
Just look at the vaping scene there.
Well,
I never seen a bigger douchebag than a guy with a big puff of smoke and Trailblazer plates and some kind of. I'm just kidding.
Some souped up little car.
It seems
or
like
something.
that's always anybody ever in traffic problems in Portland is either somebody with Trailblazer plates or the Smokey Bear plates. They think they're like. It's like I want to run them off the road.
That's hilarious.
What do you think, Matt?
I have Smokey Bear plates. What the fuck?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're a part of the problem.
I wanted to ask Ram. We have some new rules coming down the pipeline from the OLCC that are expecting, extracts are affected. How's that impacting you guys?
Definitely. Well, I got a big scare, and this, I guess, is a good platform to kind of discuss this for a second. The CRC, right? And there's a lot of different ways to do this, and it's really
we were talking about that.
Yeah, color remediation, and I mean, there is a lot of stuff on social media, and people seem to get off by fuck CRC, fuck that shit, it sucks, and it's like, yo, I feel you. What they're mad about is they feel they're being tricked by giving a product that looks good, but it was made from older material or dried material. And I mean, to me, it's like, yo, if there's 10 million pounds of trim in this state, you want this product, it's going to be made into a product. I mean, do you want it to have old chlorophyll that makes it black? Do you want it to still have the heavy metals in it? Do you still want it to have all this crap in it that doesn't need to be there? When you do the type of filtration that we do, I wouldn't call it the CRC that everybody rags. We do a mild filtration, and what we're doing is just strictly removing the chlorophyll from the older material. If it's dry, it doesn't matter if it's a month old or a year old, it's going to get dark, and nobody wants a darker product. It doesn't sell. And so, I mean, filtering that out and filtering any potential heavy metals that we don't even test for yet out of that product too. And that's what happens when we're doing the CRC process that people really rag on. It's like, really, that's, to me, it's a good thing. It's a product that ordinarily it was, you're gonna have a black piece of dab and it's gonna be like Hush Days or whatever, but it's like, that's still a product. I mean, people want terpenes and cannabinoids.
They still make
and then the CRC, I mean, typically you're making it from a product that doesn't have any good terpenes or anything. So when people are like, oh, it all smells the same, I'm like, yeah, because that's the the kind of monotone smell. If you've ever smelled just pure THCA crystals, same smell. It's just like you're just smelling the THCA. And it's not I get it. Like, I don't want to smoke cheap stuff either. I want to smoke the best of the best personally. But after doing this business for 4 years, I have found out the hard way that the 90% of the state who's not on social media talking about all this, they do want the cheap stuff. All of us who are on, Instagram and being like, oh, I got the best shit, bitch. Look at this, no, none of us want to smoke, the $10 dab. But man, there's most people do, and
they sell a lot of it.
Yeah, they sell a lot. And so I started doing, we started doing that and making the CRC. I don't even like to call it CRC because it's just, we're just filtering out the bullshit and leaving what's good and giving you a great product for a cheap price. So that's what we're doing. So the new rule changes came out and they're like, CRC is being banned and blah blah blah. It's like, you're altering and making artificial cannabinoids is the terminology they used in the rules. And I was like, what in the hell are you talking
you're not
about?
Creating anything new at that point. You're just filtering out.
Yeah. That just seems to me like regulations and things, put forth by people who have don't know fucking idea what they're talking about.
Not at all.
Pull a glass of water from Detroit and ask them if they want to fucking drink it without it being filtered.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. That's a very good point. That is a very good point. But yeah, it's like how do you make artificial cannabinoids from cannabis? I don't understand how that happens. It's like,
Yeah, that's
I mean, I guess if those aren't real cannabinoids
are
and
they
they're like,
mutant
right, they're talking about like the Delta 8 and Delta 9
cannabinoids?
stuff like that, I believe. And so, I called the OLCC and was like, hey man, like,
Yeah.
we got a lot of this, what people think is CRC, and what the hell are we gonna do? And he was like, oh no, actually, the process that I was like, all we're doing is filtering chlorophyll. I don't understand why this is bad, And he was like, oh well, it's not for your kind. It's only for this other stuff. I was like, oh well, the whole internet's like going nuts right now. Like they
Chlorophyll?
banned CRC, more like
I
borophyll.
was
Yeah.
gonna say more like chlorophyll.
Or like, get that shit out of here. Nobody wants it. And I feel you. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yo, I'm a proponent for CRC. But like, when you have an older product and it needs to be sold in this state, man, and then, you're either gonna have something that doesn't look good or something that looks good. Like, and if you're the person buying that, the people who are ragging on it aren't the people
Right.
who are buying those products. So I get it. Like, I'm not trying to buy it either, but I'm trying to sell it. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So I'm
there's a lot of farmers in this state that aren't even bothering to harvest their plants this year. They just let the shit go to rot because
Oh my
they
God.
can't do anything with it.
That's a good point too. I mean, and there's so much marijuana being produced in the state of Oregon. There's only 4 million people here. Like, that's not that many people. And we have like, 10 million pounds of weed being produced every year. Like,
dude, we're not smoking enough, Oregon.
Yeah, come on, y'all.
Pick it up, would you?
Open the borders. Let us start shipping this shit out a little bit.
It's so
I'm sure
cheap.
the rest of the country would love our weed.
Yeah, dude, $2 grams, $20 ounce, $30 ounces all day. I'm seeing this stuff everywhere. And that's how you know too that the cheaper stuff sells more, because when you drive by a store, you always see a $30 ounces, $2 grams or whatever. You never see, oh, we got Bo's Nose, oh, we got Funk or Echo or whatever. It's never like signs outside that say that. It's like, we got the cheapest shit. And that's like what sells.
The funny part about it is that last week, I think, when we were talking to Captain Canada, no, it was I think the week before with Kelly O'Connor. I live in Forest Grove, and we have only 20 to 30,000 people out there, and we have like 6 or 7 dispensaries.
Yeah,
and we got one more coming in.
Yeah.
And I drive down, I drive by Nectar, right? There's Nectar. $24 ounces sign outside. Drive by Lamoda, $19 ounces outside. Fresh Cannabis, $50 ounces outside. You're like, holy crap! I never thought I would see this day, but you're right.
Yeah.
It's so, the cheap is out there.
Yeah.
If you want the craft, it's there.
It's there.
It's just like beer.
Yeah.
I look at it as like beer.
Exactly.
Okay, I go buy some, Old Styles or some, cheap ass beer, at the store. I love those tall boys. They get a 6-pack for like $6.99.
Keystone Light or something
cheap and just get hammered on it. That's just what I see. The same thing is when I see $5 dabs and $10 dabs, I'm like, But I will say there are some people doing those affordable dabs. I've seen a couple. Just out in my hunting, and Matt knows this. I've come across some stuff. I'm like, what? Only $8.33 for that?
Out
some
the door.
Some kind of pull and snap that's like you could almost see through it. And it tastes awesome. And I'm like, what the hell? This is only $8.33. Give me my limit.
Yeah,
because I don't find that shit very often. And I think it was I'm trying to remember who it was.
Probably Disco Dabs or something like that.
Sunshine
or
Self-Made, somebody like that.
There's Self-Mades out there.
It was really good.
Yeah,
I was like really surprised. I wasn't gonna buy anything else, and the guy's like, "Hey, we got these specials. You want to check this out?" I'm like, "Man, are you kidding me? You want me to do that?" I look at him like, oh shit. It was like Delato or something, some good fun strain.
Yeah,
I was like, all right, I'll try it out.
Nice, man.
And shit, it was really good.
That's awesome.
You said Delated. I'm like, don't smoke that.
Yeah, no, Delato or
Gelato. Yeah, it's like
not
gelato.
Gelatin.
Yeah, gelato cross. Yeah, Gelato. I'm trying to remember what that is. Like cookie dough and gelato.
I was trying to remember the name of the farm. Matt, do you remember that? You tried some of that, and when we did the Bronco dabs.
Oh, that's right. No, I can't remember. I mean, I remember doing the Bronco dabs, but I can't remember the actual oil.
I'll try to figure
it was really
it out.
tasty.
Yeah, it was really tasty. We were kind of like surprised.
Exactly. And it's like, all right, well, there's that up for $8 to $10 out there. Our low end like stuff that we've had to filter or whatever, that we're selling, that's like, $16 to $20 out the door. But getting it down to that price point, I mean, I'm losing money at that
Yeah, I was
point.
gonna say. I mean,
I
what
don't know
makes
how
it
to-
low end? Because it's usually still really good.
Yeah,
I'm
it's just
like,
like it's just made from some old trim. They probably got a super good deal on it.
right.
Not taking, not saying rag on anybody, but
I think some of these,
lowballing the
I
farms.
think there's some of these self-integrated farms.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
I mean,
vertically integrated
they
can do
can
it.
afford to do that
Mhm.
to some degree. I think.
Yeah, because they have their fixed cost already, and it's like, all right. I mean, that's what you have to do. I mean, we made so much product this last year that we made more than we could sell, and so now we're
Yeah.
sitting on product that we're like, damn man, we made way too much, and we just can't sell it all. When we have to drop it for
There's
so
an
low.
example there. Self-made farms. That's the
Oh,
one I was
nice.
talking
Okay.
about.
Oh, that looks good.
$8.33.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It
Like
just blows my mind.
You know,
a
one of
gram. I mean,
the things that's really hobbling us in this state is the federal government. I was expecting by this time that we would be able to open the borders, maybe start selling a little bit to California or to Washington, some of these other legalized states.
somebody.
Biden administration is just sitting on his fucking thumb right now.
Yeah.
As far as
And
I'm
I
concerned,
know,
Biden's as good as Trump right now. They're
Yeah.
both a bunch of old geezers that didn't do shit.
The lying ass bastards that were
right?
promising to
Well,
be
at
shut.
the point, I even thought for a while there that even Trump would have legalized it. Number one, it would have gotten a shit ton of votes from people that don't like him very much.
Mhm.
And I know I've always said this, but Republicans like money.
Yeah.
Business.
They seem to be really addicted to this shit. But they don't, in individual businesses and pulling yourself up by your own bootstraps and all this other shit.
Mhm.
But when it comes to cannabis, they're still like, oh no, God, keep it in your own state. We don't want that shit.
Yeah.
You talk about praising capitalism. These groups and these political parties like Democrats and Republicans, both alike, still want to keep that capitalistic society going. Capitalism. And then for them to completely ignore cannabis is one of the
why not
craziest things.
capitalize on some of that shit?
Yeah.
It also bothers me that there's cannabis companies being snatched up for $500 million, and Johnny Lowright is sitting in prison for 20 years in Texas somewhere for having an ounce or some bullshit like that. People shouldn't get rich if people are in jail for whatever it is that they're selling. Because
didn't Select just go through another $500 billion buyout or some shit?
Yeah.
Crazy shit like that.
I saw something about that.
Man, fuck.
It's so crazy. And to think, that these people are like in competition for the most part with, like somebody like me. I'm just a dude. Like it's me. And I have Sabrina, my assistant, and then like 3-4 people working in my lab.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
And we're hustling up every dollar we make. And it's crazy, man. I didn't have all these grays on my beard when I started. But man, I'm telling you, it's been intense, man. It's been an intense ride. And you just like, sometimes you're like, well, what the hell am I doing? What am I doing? Like I'm not making as much money as I used to when I used to be, the other market. And it's like, it's cool, it's like, and I knew that. I know it's gonna be sacrificed. The peace of mind that you have from not worrying about that is very valuable. But at the same time, like, man, I like to go out to eat like twice a week, nothing crazy, but like, damn, man, like, and the cost of everything is so expensive now.
Yeah,
too.
I like to go out. I like to do stuff.
Yeah, I like to do stuff. I just want to go do stuff. It's like, this is it. Like, this is our life. And if I'm sitting at home every day eating macaroni and cheese because, like, I chose to, like, it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? I chose.
If I'm going to hermit out, I'm going to go,
I want
to Alaska somewhere. I'm going to go live in
the
the bush somewhere and just hide out and have my little garden, grow my own. And,
I feel that.
See you guys later type of situation. But the state of the industry.
I always encourage people to grow your own. It'll help explain why the good shit costs so much.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading a Reddit thread about how in Portland, about how these dispensaries are selling like $20 grams still, and that people are like, you guys are crazy thinking people are gonna buy this shit. And I'm like, back in the 90s when I was slinging bags, I always had to worry about paying overhead, insurance, and rent to buildings, and licensing to the state, and then doubling that licensing up for the city of Portland. Doing business is expensive in this freaking place. And, you can go out, like you said, you can find your $24 ounces all day long. I'm that guy that usually looks for something that's a little bit pricier because I expect something out of my price point with that. I look for quality.
Yeah.
I've spent the 90s and the late 80s smoking a lot of dog shit. So I'm over cheap weed. I was over cheap weed back in 95.
I feel that.
Once we started seeing some of the shit coming out of California and the Emerald Triangle, I never looked back. I want that expensive shit. And I think it's imperative for our industry to be able to have craft cannabis and craft cannabis products like funk extracts, man. I mean, it's just, I don't want to see a race to the bottom. That just
No,
terrifies me. I don't want
no.
I don't want any guests on our show that's going to say, yeah, I'm the Walmart of weed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell
We
no.
want good
Go
for
somewhere else,
everyone.
man. I
Yeah.
don't want to hear it. I don't want to
Exactly.
smoke it.
We're anti boo boo for sure on this
That
program.
is the
but,
truth. For me, I wanted to provide something for all price points. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
once I came in, I was like, when I first started, I was like, I only going to do the very best and the most exotic and blah, 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 blah. And then when I came in, like, a lot of people were established already through the medical market and had made a good name for themselves. And we were just coming in. And when we came in, the price of live resin dropped 50%. That, we
I
got our
remember
license.
that.
Yeah. It was like, I was selling everything for 2025 thinking I was crushing it. And then they're like, yeah, I'm getting bobsled for $10 a gram. I'm like, what the hell is that? And then, yeah, but then it's like all these shops that they never heard of me before were like, well, why am I going to pay double for your stuff when I can just get live resin from these people? I'm like, well, because our shit's like good, not
Yeah.
ragging on anybody else, but like, like we take pride and like we really source good shit and we have good farms that we work with and
Yeah.
they're organic. Like we're serious about it. And a lot of people don't care. And the shop, a lot of shop dispensary managers are really trying, wheel and deal you and just, I don't know. I have a lot of frustrations on every aspect of this industry, but I mean,
Well, there's a lot of differences between that. When you had intake managers like Justin,
yeah,
who
just
is old school from the 90s, knew what good shit looked like, knew what bad shit looked like. And nowadays, we have intake managers that are looking strictly at a spreadsheet
mm-hmm.
and maybe not even trying the product out, going, no, you can't fit in our stores because your price point's too high. Well, did you try it?
Well, that's the thing.
What
Like
you
when
think?
it comes down to the management of the shop as well,
Mhm.
because we had a really good general manager who knew how to take that high end product and move it out. I mean, like,
Market it well.
yeah, it was like,
yeah.
we're gonna buy that.
Mhm.
We can sell that. We'll
Yeah.
double it.
Yeah.
Whatever. It'll be 100% markup.
Yeah.
Whatever. It'll go.
Yeah.
So we'll take that. I think that's what it comes down to. But a lot of shops now are.
Yeah.
It's just turn.
So much turnover.
I mean, there's models like Nectar, which is,
Mhm.
they take all their weed to a facility and package it and then send it to their stores, which is kind
Mhm.
of cool. It's the old Italian restaurant commissary type
Yeah.
situation, I think. And then there's still places like Oregon's Finest where they put it in a jar
Mhm.
and I want some of that. Ooh, or some of that.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
I smell that? Can I smell that? And with COVID now, of course, it used to be you'd be able to come in and put the jar right in your face and all this stuff. But now they hold the jar up and do a little fan,
Yeah.
so you
Oh,
can
yeah, I
smell
know.
it.
It's
At least it's making the effort
Yeah.
to
to try and let you smell it.
preserve what that craft side is. I mean, they're making the effort.
Yeah, because that was
There
great
are,
about
there are
working.
some dispensaries out there that won't even let you smell the weed. You're just
I
Yeah,
know.
basically
tons now.
stopping by looking at it. I'm like, how the hell am I going to be able to do that?
That's what I'm saying. That's how it is in Washington.
Yeah.
There's all prepackaged everything, and you go there and you can't smell a thing. So I was like, and then the COVID hit, and everybody's like, "Oh, we can't let you smell the jar due to COVID." I'm like, man, that's some bullshit. Like, let me
Yeah.
smell.
Like
Like, I don't want
ordering
to
a
buy it. I
bride
can't
off
smell
of the goddamn the Russian male bride. You can't talk to
Yeah.
him. You can't do that. Just
it.
look at a
Exactly.
picture. Oh yeah, that'll work. Send her over.
They'll take your money.
Yeah.
You can
You
send them money though.
you can still have some good looking indoor, and it's all frosty looking and everything. But then you go to smell it, it has no smell. You go to smoke it, it has no. It's like a hot chick with no brains. You're like, oh golly, hello. And then you get to know them. You're like, oh man, you're not about shit.
Yeah, just
Man.
close your mouth. Just look pretty.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was
How
false
many-
advertising.
How many farms? I want to go back to some weed questions here for a minute. How many farms do you normally work with? Are you always on the hunt are you always ready to talk to anybody, or do you really put through the due diligence? Like go crawl up their ass with a microscope, see how they're doing everything.
I'm not as anal as I feel some of my cohorts are about it. I want to work with people who are cool. I've worked with enough people who I want to work with people I can like deal with. I work with a lot of people, and I like pretty much everybody I work with. Keeping cash flow and keeping everybody happy when you have 40 different selections on the menu in a market that's tanking
Right.
is a challenge. But I'm really grateful to work with some really good people who care a lot. I try to look for people who truly care about what they're doing, and know that they're, because I don't want it to sound hokey or anything, but man, honestly, I feel that love is the most important ingredient into cannabis, because if you're not giving those individual plants that attention and time that they need, they're not going to be, stellar plants. They're just going to be some weed, and it's like, to take it to that next level, you really need to give. That's why, a guy who could grow the best weed, when he's doing his 12 or 16 plants, he's got fired, but then he's all of a sudden he's switched to a 20,000 square foot facility. And it's like, well, why is it changed? Oh, dude, like, yeah. How do you take that same situation and blow it up to a commercial scale?
Yeah. I mean, I know of a couple of farms, Matt and I know of a couple of farms who've really jumped into expansion into other states and things like that. Huge facilities compared to their facilities in Oregon.
Yeah.
And you just wonder how that's going to translate.
Exactly.
Especially when you got different kinds of weather, different kinds of things.
Man.
I mean, I know you can control it pretty
somewhat,
good.
But you're in Florida, for example, it's 100% humidity all the time. Texas is the same, like down in Houston. I don't know how the hell you're going to grow like weed without it getting all moldy down there. It's
you're going to have some processes in place that really watch quality control.
Yeah, we're so lucky in Oregon, especially Southern Oregon, to have the right kind of climate to literally, in June 15th, Mother's Day, you put your plants in the ground, and then September, October, they're done and they're 10 feet tall. And you're getting like 5, like, it's nuts. It's crazy. It really is like the perfect place to grow pot. And that's why I think once it does go, national, and we can actually trade, interstate, this will be the best place to be. It's not right now, because we're selling cocaine in Colombia. We're selling cocaine to Colombians who all work in the cocaine industry. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
We are here. Everybody in Oregon works in the weed industry or has a cousin or a brother or somebody that's heavy in the weed game, and everybody's getting weed for cheap already. So getting people to go buy our stuff for a premium at the dispensary is tough, because everybody's like, well, I know somebody, and I got this and I got that. And it's like,
I know people who went and picked up part-time jobs at the dispensary just so they get the discount.
Yeah.
They could care less how much they're getting paid, but they're like, hey, shit, I'm getting, 40% off or whatever it is, and it saves in my weed game.
Yeah. And you used to be an intake manager, so you know how it is. So when you buy like a premium product, Oregon's Finest, y'all had a good thing going on. I really have to give you respect. I don't think y'all might have had to deal with this as much as other places, but like, as a premium product, when somebody goes in to buy it, like, what percentage of those people who are buying like a high end anything are paying full retail price and not receiving some kind of discount? Friends and family,
they might get a 10% because
something,
rewards points, things, but still, and I'll say this, when working with markups as high as like in the alcohol industry and the cannabis industry, 10%, okay, go ahead,
and 20% taxes anyways.
Yeah,
exactly.
And when it comes to products that are ancillary, bongs, glass, shit, 80% off.
Yeah,
whatever. You know what I mean? Because it's the markups are so high.
The markets, especially on bongs, and especially,
I don't think people realize that. It's just people. If you want to know what the markups are like in the cannabis industry, think of like Manola Blahnik shoes. Okay, they cost maybe $12 to make, and they're $3,000.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's just kind of how I think about it.
Yeah, exactly. So then, it's like people, so people who are heady, in my opinion, typically don't pay full retail price because they'll know somebody or have a connection to get it for a deal. But it doesn't cost that much to make. And it's like, I remember when we first did our numbers, to put to my investor, and I was like, we can make this much money. Holy shit, we're gonna be rich. And I was like, all right, I'll be driving that Tesla in no time. And it just, the numbers didn't end up working out because the price got cut in half, and I mean the price has gone down even more. And now, I mean, it's like, you're buying something that's pretty good for $8. That thing, 5 years ago, that would have been $20-$25.
It's the branding that really changes things.
That's true.
Because if you can build your brand to stand out from the other guys, then nobody will care.
That's right.
I mean, they'll be like, "Oh, damn, $20." Okay,
it's we know it's from them, so we know that it's going to be worth it.
Fire.
And keeping that, I really tip my hat to the guys who are really able to do that completely consistently, because it's tough out there. You got all these people giving you stuff, and then they give you stuff for a good deal, and it's like they're sticking to their morals and saying, no, I'm only going to do this, and it works. I've been trying to find myself in that range and find where I want to be. I found myself coming into the market doing live resin right when live resin tanked, and it's like, all right, so then we started doing more affordable stuff on top of the high-end live resins. We got that, and then everybody's like, fuck BHO, I'm only smoking rosin now. And it's like, oh, okay, well, let's make some rosin. That took a year to get going. So now we get rosin, and now everybody's making rosin. And so it's like, I feel like we make a good product and we have a good branding, but like, you know, I want to, you know, like hats off to my boy, you know, Regan over at Echo, you know, like somebody
Echo.
like him, I mean, he kills it, you know, and you know that anything
one of my
he makes
favorites.
is going to be, yeah, me too. Same. You know, I've never wanted to be like him, but I, you know, I hold him up on the pedestal as the best of the best. I don't necessarily want to be like the best of the best. I want to have something for everybody and kind of be more of people's brand. But like the way he does it, I mean, like is excellence. Everything he does is excellent, and I respect the hell out of that. And and there's a lot of people, Bose, you know, same way. You know, he's always doing some fire, and this whole state is completely full of people like that, doing something in their true craft connoisseurs who are producing a great product, when I feel like it's not like that in other states. You know, got the Grape God dude who has been doing his thing on the, you know, he's coming online now, and I know he's always made a great product, and it'll be interesting to see him come onto the rec market. And there's a lot of people doing it. It's so, I mean, Oregon, I feel, is unique that we have so many like you know, persons or personalities coming to the state to like do their thing. When you look at Cali or Washington or Colorado, it's all just more kind of corporate business companies like doing. So there's not these like people.
I feel like, I think you're right. I feel like in Oregon it's people.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's like Dirty Arm Farm or any of these guys, I feel like there's personality.
Yeah. It's a lot of personalities.
Yeah.
And even
you're right.
Yeah,
I think you're right though. And when I go to places like, what was that?
I was going to bring up Dirty Arm Farm. You know, Jamie was ragging so long about, you know, bug parts in your hash and how shitty rosin is, and I was making it. I saw that, I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, he stopped the BHO and is only doing rosin. I want to do everything. I like it all, you know. And speaking of doing everything, I'm about to start doing some, and this is y'all are the first to hear it.
Ooh, top secret.
Funk edibles are coming really soon, probably starting April 1st, the 100 milligrams. New rules, so the 100 milligram edibles are going to be available for recreational. So we're going to be one of the first people with
awesome
100 milligram gummies for the rec, April 1st. Oh, I can't wait. They're going to be fun. And then we got more different types of products coming, and we're working with some good people on that. And so I'm excited. You know, I really want to have all different types of products. For me, I want, you know, everything. I want pre-rolls and edibles and, you know, flour. I would love to have my own flour. God, that'd be nice. And, you know, just like a whole selection of different types of products. I love products that you can make out of cannabis. I've always been, you know, from back in the day, you making brownies or making RSO and stuff.
I used to like the what was it, Lori Mary Jane's cannabis kit. You can make your own. You know, it came with everything that you needed to make your stuff. And you know, those kinds of things taught me how to make my own.
Yeah,
actually, hovering from LB's Edibles taught me the process of how to decarb and and that's how the methods I use now.
That's awesome.
I never really had a chance to do that.
Yeah,
I didn't use edibles a lot. I never used edibles. I always had one or two really good connections for my weed.
Yeah,
no matter if it was in my 20s, 30s, or 40s. Not, you know, it doesn't really matter so much now. But back then, you know, when it came to like deciding what you want to do in life, like where you want to get a job and things like that, I was like, man, what if they got good weed there? I don't know. I mean, is that bad that I made decisions that way? I was like, you know, when I was younger, I was like, I don't want to move to freaking Montana.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stay on the West Coast. I know there's weed here.
That's why I'm here.
What if I move to Mississippi or some southern state? I don't want to get stuck with, you know.
You're doing 5 years for a joint, you know, like that's true. I mean, it's real. It's all the way real.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. When I moved to Alaska, it was one of those things. Matt knows this. When I moved to Alaska, I moved there because I knew I could grow my own plants.
Yeah.
So if I got in a pinch, I could grow my own weed.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
But then you also learn the laws of economics, like, you know, move to a small town in Southeast Alaska where, you know, you're used to paying $40 for an eighth. You now, sir, pay $80.
Oh man.
Yeah. Quarters were $120.
Yeah.
I moved to this little town in Juneau, Alaska in 95. And I was used to paying, you know, $10 for a gram or whatever, you know, getting a big fat bag for cheap. And I remember when I got there, I got a weed connection, $120 for a quarter. I was like, what? Oh my God. I'm not sharing my weed with anybody. This is all mine. No more sharing. That's the
Oh
way it
man,
goes.
Ram,
yeah,
I got a question for you, bud. All
yes
this
sir.
weed that comes your way, how do you pick and choose what you're actually going to run? What's your
Yeah.
benefit to quality
Fa-
control?
The number one thing is the farm it's coming from. If I respect the grower and how they do their thing. That's like the main thing. If I don't think that you're doing a good job, or if I question your growing methods, it's kind of just I got so many other people that I don't feel that way about. So it's really the grower themselves and their methods, and me knowing and being familiar with their methods, and then the strain being strain specific, making sure it's something, golly, it's happened so many times where we've got something and like thought it was going to be good, and then it smelled good, looked good, tastes good, but the name would be
Oh, well,
weird or something, and it just didn't,
Yeah.
or yeah,
Didn't run well.
didn't run well, whatever. It's hard to pick, after just, experience is really the only way you're gonna, get past. So now I can look at something and just be like, oh no, okay. But like even then, like uh I'll still take some stuff that I don't want as like being nice to a farm, and that's bit me in the ass. I have a couple like farms that I'm working with, and we're all just trying to make it, but like their stuff like did not yield well and did not come out well, and then it's
yeah,
like now I'm having to sell it for like 75% less, and I had to
Mm.
pay all this money, to package it. And, the jars are 40-50 cents a piece, and the stickers, and then the testing, and the distribution of the product, and then the sitting and the storage
Yeah,
cost of the
man.
product, and I have to pay all this money for these products, and then they don't sell well, and then I'm like trying to pay people back, and they say, "We're like, well, dude, like here's a sales report, like it ain't moving." But now what I'm really excited about to more new rule changes is that we could make the stuff and give it back to the producer we got it for. Well, thank God,
Ah.
like, yo, like your stuff's not selling. Let me just give you it back, and then you can sell the rest of it. And now,
there
I
you
don't
go.
want, there's only so much product that you can sell. And, I've, with my old partners and stuff, maybe we made some mistakes on like buying too much of one kind. That's another thing too. You can't do is, get 150 pounds of one flavor, and then, you get a live run, you get 3.5% yield, you get like 5,000 grams of that shit. And to sell 5,000
Shit.
grams of the same thing in Oregon, like really like 500 grams is a good size batch. Like
Yeah.
even especially if it's high end, if it's high end, yeah, oh yeah, it's super fire and shit. But guess what? If it's not if it's live resin, it's I still am sitting on some fire ass live resin that's like, yo, this shit is so fire. But it was $20 a gram wholesale, so it makes it 48. It's
Yeah.
fucking worth it because it's coming from indoor fire ass farms, and
Yeah.
but it just don't move. And it's
Mm.
just the market. I mean, people really have ragged on BHO hardcore to the point where in Portland it ain't cool to smoke. And it's like,
Mm.
it hurts my heart a little bit because like I know there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like a trendy thing. It's like, oh, BH no and all this. And it's like, yeah, like, dude, like it's fucking good. What are you talking
Yeah.
about? And it's just like, but it's people on the trend shit. And then they're like, oh, I don't want to be seen by my friends as somebody who smokes
I
some
love good
BHO.
live resin, man.
Yeah.
I like
It's
good
good.
live
It's all
resin.
about the flower. At the end of the day, it's fire in, fire out. If that weed that it was made with ain't the shit, the extract is not going to be amazing. You make it look good, make it, look pretty and all that. But if the weed it was made with isn't there, it's
How about these people that they'll rail on BHO and then they'll go hit their pen?
yeah. Then they smoke a pen.
What
Well,
do
yeah.
you
What's funniest to me is like the people who are like, oh, and I'm not gonna like say any names, but these hippie folks who are like they give their method of growing, and they don't allow people who use their method to process it through
shush
BHO. But then you look on their Instagram, they're sitting there smoking little weed pipes with the Bic
lighter?
lighter.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting hundreds of thousands of ppms of butane when you're doing that, hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
And then you're like ragging on a product that maybe has 200 when 5,000 is the limit and stuff like that. Like, come on, bro. Like this is just, it just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
get like, your passion for, not wanting to put this stuff in your body. It's like ragging on, yeah, like saying, oh, well, I don't smoke BHO, but then you go eat a Big Mac, like,
Exactly.
come on, like,
Yeah, we're all a bunch of we're all a bunch of fucking
like
hypocrites. Come
we
on.
are, I got plenty of shit like that too. But yeah, we all are, just,
Yeah, I know.
there's products out there. It's cool. It's not like, and the marijuana industry is very trendy and hip and what's
Mhm.
cool, but like, what else is next? Like, how can so you got BHO, you got rosin. I mean, like, what new type of cool product can come on the horizon next? I don't really foresee that many, more
I
consistencies.
don't know.
Diamonds came, and then,
I had a conversation with Ryan Heron from the Loud 100,
oh yeah, yeah.
and we had a conversation earlier where we were talking about what we've been trying and so on and so forth. And I said, man, I'm almost to the point now where I just come home, take the RSO, and just put it in my mouth.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what the fuck? You know, I'm tired of messing around. I'm an RSO fan though, and a tincture fan, and I would prefer, a couple 100 milligrams through it,
Straight to
RSO, straight on, and then take maybe one puff, and then go off to La La Land.
That's kind of where I'm
but
at.
I feel like that's kind of where I'm to the point. I'm like, God, it's so much to do everything. And it's just like, let's just
roll it, light it, smoke it. In my lungs, I'm not a spring chicken anymore.
Me too.
I'm an old Stony too.
Yeah,
and it's like, man, my lungs are like, motherfucker, what are you doing? You just gonna keep doing this forever? Like and I'm like, that's why I've been doing the gummies and stuff, and eating some edibles, and I really like that because I get so high, and I just say I eat something, and then I'm like so high. Oh man, yeah,
I'll give props to Siskiyou Sungrown because that's my favorite RSO.
Siskiyou kills it.
And Matt, we were talking. You and I. I was trying to remember this conversation we were having about tinctures. I can't remember at this point in time. I'm sorry. It's just kicking in. See, it's kicking in. I think it was Luminous Botanicals. I can't remember who we were talking about, but the tinctures. I'd like to see tinctures come back.
Yeah, like actual tinctures, not like the syrups and stuff.
Yeah, just little drops. I love that stuff.
The sublingual drops.
Yeah,
they don't. I talked to so many people because I want to make those too. Like I want to make those in capsules and stuff like less smokable stuff and more like just eat or like pop it. And but everybody's always like, oh, it doesn't sell well for us, and I'm just like, damn, for real? Because like, man, like if I could find like good pill, like a cannabis pill, and like I just pop 2 of those things like at night. Like
they've tried. I mean, I remember back in the early days of coming into rec, every product under the sun. I mean, we had bronchial inhalers.
I remember those,
and those sucked.
They did suck, man.
They made me feel like I couldn't
$90.
breathe almost. And then and they were really expensive.
Really expensive.
But as Matt would said before too, people like the act of smoking. I've been on my PAX 3. Matt has a PAX 3.
Nice.
We use those quite a bit. Now, for the last 3 or 4 days, I haven't been able to use it because I lost my charger cord. So I've been burning, just using a one hitter. And I can feel it.
Yeah.
I've come down an octave.
I can't hit like, I feel like smoke, terpenes are a solvent, and you're like smoking terpenes all the time. And I mean, you're putting solvents into your body. And so, I mean, you do have to be kind of mindful of it. And I swear to God, though, I can't hit like the like that note. I can't hit that note anymore. I used to be able to hit that note on, my Mariah Carey shit. And now it's gone. That octave is no more. And I attributed it to smoking so many damn dabs.
I'm pretty sure I have nodes too.
Yeah.
So it's okay. Hey, Matt, we're getting close to finishing up the program. You ready to talk about what we're smoking or ingesting? Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. What have you been I'll go ahead and let you start, okay?
Last week, I took a trip down to Lucky Line Dispensaries and picked up some of their signature flower. I got their champagne cake, which is their version of wedding cake. And it's pretty good, man. Durban Poison crossed with cherry pie. So the old school wedding cake stuff. And their champagne cake's very tasty. Nice indica, good pull.
Nice. Okay, excellent.
Sounds good.
Well, like I said, I've been smoking some Dosey Mints from Orgrown.
Nice.
And it is a creeper. I took down a big bowl, and next thing you know, like 20 minutes later, I'm like, wow, I'm high. It just creep right up on me. And it's hard to find a good creeper.
Yeah, stuff doesn't creep like it used to.
Yeah, I mean, I used to love it when it just kick in a little later, be like, woo, hey.
Yeah, like wait a second.
But I give props to Oregon because I've tried a little bit of their flower lately. But the Dosey Mints was pretty good. What about you?
Nice. I was smoking some cherry mints from Happy Daddy. That was super fire. We actually just processed some of that into live resin. I'll be dropping in like 2 weeks. I'm smoking that. And yeah, Happy Daddy, I love those guys. I think they really produce. Their Captain Cooch is some of the best weed out there.
Yeah, check it out.
On the rosin side, what we've just produced, we're doing a new drop of Platinum Kush Breath Fresh Press 90U with High Noon Colt, and that, oh man, there's only like 240 grams of it, and I only got my one sample, and I know I won't be able to get any more samples. And but it already sold out. We already sold out. We haven't put it on the menu. It's cool.
Sold out.
Yeah, it was exciting. The rosin sells really well.
That's cool though.
But yeah, that shit.
I knew good growers too. Those guys.
I knew amazing growers. Yeah, those guys. They're really pretty awesome. They do a great thing. And yeah, we did a few drops with them this year. Cool. Really excited with that. We got some stuff from Old Gold coming too.
We got just a couple minutes left. If you had to pick somebody else's stuff, just to smoke besides funk,
Mhm.
what would you go to?
My go-to is typically Echo or like Bo's Nose. Like when I'm not smoking my stuff, those are, I feel, they always produce good stuff. So I know that it's nice, a safe bet. Because me personally, I only want to smoke the best stuff, and I want it to be gassy or fruity as hell. One of the two. Otherwise, I don't really even want it. Like if like even like some like cookie stuff, like creamy cookiness, and it's cool. Man, I want that stank ass gas. I actually did just smoke some Zen. I gotta give Zen some props to their Dirty Taxi. I smoked, and it was, oh man, it was so stanky. It was like ultimate GMO stank, like just like
I love GMO,
stanky
GMO.
armpit, the middle of the summer, like.
What'd you say, Matt?
The Dirty Taxi. I remember us talking about that last time Funk Ram was on.
That's right, dude. Yeah, it's that's a good strain. I need to run that. I need to run some more of that. That's the good shit. But anybody who's got the gas, there's a lot out there. But Echo and Bose, I would say, is always my go-to out there in the streets. But man, respect to everybody out there doing it, because we're all
there's a lot of good products.
There is, and I hate that we're having to feel like we compete with each other when really, like, we're all just trying to do our thing. I'm in my lane, there in their lane.
I saw some really good stuff from Sterling Gold.
Sterling Gold always kills it.
Lion Street and Sterling Gold probably one of my favorites.
His GMO, Aaron and Will, man, they're just great.
As far as flower goes, Koala's in my top 10.
Oh, dude, I haven't had the koala in a long time. But I used to get it when I was running the dispensary down there.
Matt and I used to say this all the time when we talk to people. Koala was one of those strains or cultivars, however you want to go nowadays. When I was ingesting it and using it, I actually felt like something good was happening. Like it was actually helping me.
I could see that. Yeah. Dude, I know what you mean.
I need some koala.
It's hard to explain that. Yeah, Aaron, what's up on the koala, man?
Aaron, Aaron.
Come on, bro. Where's it at?
We want it.
Yeah,
we want it.
I'm gonna go look at that because I'm friends. I know the people who distributed their stuff. I'm gonna go see. I'm about to head there after this. I'm gonna see if I find some, I'll text you.
Yeah, do it, because I'll find you and get it. We'll take care of business. Good stuff.
There's so much great stuff in Oregon, man. And for real, I really I'm honored to be in the mix with all these people who are really true craftsmen and do great work, and respect to everybody, man, for real.
We're pretty lucky being in Oregon.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Funk Extracts is definitely high up on that list of all the cultivars around here. I've always been consistently impressed with everything that you guys have put out. So
thanks, man.
No, I also like the packaging. We love having you on.
I appreciate it.
I always like the little record.
Yeah, it's fun. You did a cool video when you were running Oregon's Finest and made a cool little video of that.
Like mixing
I always like that. That was fun.
Maybe we'll use that as we'll
rehash that out.
Yeah, we'll rehash that.
I like that, man. It's cool. It's fun, man. Yeah. At the end of the day, this has been the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, but I'm so grateful to be doing, and there's nothing else I'd rather be doing. And it's cool talking to guys like yourself about this, man.
Awesome.
Oh, thanks,
Matt. That's gonna do it for the show, buddy. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Ram from Funk Extracts, where can they find you on Instagram?
Instagram at Funk Extracts or Optimal Rams, my personal. Post a lot of memes and weird shit on that one. But Funk Extracts Instagram. We're like, you got to type our name all the way out. I'm pretty sure we're shadow banned. You can't do our hashtag because they banned that.
Jeez.
And thanks, social media. Y'all
do you
really love
cannabis.
We do. It's Funk Extracts also, but I think that's shadow banned too. Like, you can't even, like, nobody sees anything I post on that thing.
You need to get on Twitter, man.
I do need to get on Twitter.
They love weed on Twitter.
They do. They love everything on Twitter. Yeah. You can post anything on Twitter.
There's porn stars and all kinds of crazy shit on Twitter. So
I need to get in the mix.
You go Twitter.
Yeah. I need to get in the mix on that. Twitter, we're coming for you.
All right. Thanks, Ram. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you, man.
All right. That's going to do it for the Old Stoneys podcast. Make sure you check us out at Talkcast PDX or wherever you listen to podcasts. We appreciate it. Follow us on Instagram at the Old Stoneys. And that's going to do it for Matt and I. For Matt Crissione, I'm Justin McDonald. Till next time, keep on smoking. BudTenderShirts.com has all the crazy fun and cool shirts you could possibly want. If you want a cannabis-themed shirt, we got them for you. Want one about shrooms? Got that too. Want something that's just plain old stupidly funny? We have it all. BudTenderShirts.com. That's BudTenderShirts.com. Get a shirt and funk and go nuts. budtendershirts.com. And now we have socks. Buy it now. budtendershirts.com. That's budtendershirts.com. Funkin' Go Nuts, Old Stoneys, Shroom Shroomazoom Doom. It's budtendershirts.com. Buy a cool shirt today. budtendershirts.com. Help a stoner today. budtendershirts.com.